everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here today. I do hope you are doing well. Well, today I'm going to be speaking about Jason Knauf and his interview with 60 Minutes Australia. It was very revealing, and I think there is some information that he revealed that are clear digs at Harry and Meghan, but also setting the tone for Prince William's time to be the king and to really start getting the message out there about the role that Prince William is going to have as the next king, and how this is setting the tone and how it has got Meghan completely in an uproar because of what she did when this interview was out on Sunday. Okay, so that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's get into it. Okay, before I go into my video, I want to first thank everyone that supported my fundraiser on Saturday for my Black History Month event that I had for the financial literacy course. Your support means the world to me. And there's just so much going on right now with me and running my charity. A lot of things have got me really just upset, and it's so difficult. It's so difficult to run a charity and to try to make a real difference. There's a lot of politics behind it. There's people that don't want you to really have an easy way to do the good work that you're trying to do. And it's really come down heavy on me, and it had me such in a low point on Saturday. And so all the love that everyone gave to support my fundraiser, it just went to my heart in such a heavy way. It was very emotional for me, and I just really thank everyone that supported that with the super chats, your direct donations to my charity for the event. We're going to be having these throughout the year, these fundraisers, these workshops. So that fundraiser really did help, and I thank you so much. And thank you, Paula, for helping me with that. She was the one we were speaking on Saturday about it. And it just was so wonderful to get everyone's support. And I just am very grateful. And then when I look at things like what Harry and Meghan are doing with their charity work and how they don't really work to support their charities, they waste a lot of money. Their work is not as meaningful because the reason why they're doing their charity work is to help their brand, their celebrity, to give them this status of royal-like image by having this charity. It's not what it's supposed to be, and they're not doing it in the way that it's supposed to be done with people that start charities. You can see through everything, and I think seeing that for me, and then really truly understanding what it's like to run a charity when you barely have enough to get by, it makes it so much more emotional for me and upsetting to see it go to such a waste. And it just is what it is. I mean, what can my little voice do? Really, what can my little voice do? So your support of what I'm doing really helps to elevate the voice that I'm trying to make out to the world, to the youth that I'm trying to impact, and really elevating that, because I mean the scam of Harry and Meghan and their charity work is so blatant. It really is, and it's upsetting. Then on top of the other things that I'm having to deal with my charity, it compounds that and just makes me go crazy. I lose my mind around it because it's like, for real, with the huge big side eye. No. But I'm going to try to digress and just progress. Okay, just keep it moving. So thank you. So here's what's happening with this whole video, or this whole 60 Minutes Australia that has come out with Jason Knauf. We know who Jason Knauf is, and we're going to get into why this interview was so important, because it aired on Sunday night, and Meghan ironically put up a story on her Instagram, a nothing of a story that was completely just why kind of out there, because I think she was trying to divert from the 60 Minutes video, the 60 Minutes coverage. She knows that anytime there's a reference to Jason Knauf, it's going to be talk about the bullying allegations, because we know that Jason put out the emails that showed his concerns for some of the employees in the royal household who were being bullied. And Meghan, I think, tried to divert from that by putting out this story on her Instagram, which is like, that's what she does. She connives, she plots and she plans, and she's like, oh yeah, 60 Minutes, okay, let me just, let's do a story. And then she just starts filming, you know, just trying to put something out there to divert, like that squirrel moment. That's what she's trying to do with that, because it was meaningless. There was no point to it at all. Okay, in terms of the work that she says that she's trying to do, and, you know, just always trying to put, you know, there's a video of her in this story with showing the hands of one of the children, and not really showing your child, but kind of giving one of those peekaboo moments to make it look like you're showing your child. And it's so crazy when I see these articles that come out. Meghan showed her daughter Lilibet in the post today, and then you go watch the post, and it's like a foot or a real far away shot where it's blurry. You can hardly tell who it is. You're like, well, where is the child? She did? The article says she did, but then you look and you're like, well, where is she? It's like the littlest thing that Meghan shows. There's these posts. She showed her child. She showed her child. And it's not really showing your child. Okay, that could be anybody's child. You know, so it just is the gaslighting of all of this. But there were three things that happened in this interview with Jason Knauf that I want to point out to you. So let's just look at what this article is saying. And it's going into how Harry and William still have bad blood, as Harry, the Duke, he does face some indirect attacks. And I think that's what this article is showing from this interview with Jason Knauf on 60 Minutes, because there's no way Jason Knauf would do this interview with 60 Minutes without the express okay and approval of Prince William, because Jason Knauf still works for the Earthshot Prize Awards. So he had the complete write-off from Prince William to do this interview. They are setting the tone for William's reign. And they're getting things out there to kind of get the momentum going for what a great person William is, the work of Catherine and William, everything that they have gone through behind the scenes. And it's so interesting that this interview comes out days before Meghan's tribute or Meghan's show comes out, which is, I think, perfect timing. Perfect timing, because people need to understand the kind of person Meghan is as she continues to try to elevate herself on the backs of all the bad deeds that she's done. And I'm not going to go into all of those. We know what she's done. But this interview is really setting the tone for the kind of people that Harry and Meghan really are, and what great people William and Catherine are with their work and how they're trying to do it. I'm going to give you these examples. But first, let's just look at what the article is saying. So it goes directly into that William and Harry, they remain at war with one another following the former royal Jason Knauf's first televised interview, royal commentator Charlotte Griffiths has suggested. Now, Jason Knauf, he appeared on 60 Minutes Australia. Griffiths characterized his comments as a potential indirect attack to Harry and Meghan. That's what she's saying, and I have to agree. It looks very much like an indirect attack, but anything that Jason will say will be an indirect attack only because he's speaking the truth. And the truth of what Jason says comes out as being negative towards Harry and Meghan because of the things that they have done. And if Jason is going to be completely upfront about the things that have happened, he has to give out this information that ironically is an indirect attack. So you can't get around it. It is what it is. I mean, that is the truth of the situation. Now, Jason Knauf, we know he served as the press secretary for Prince William and Prince Harry before their relationship became strained. And that right there is key. Before all of this fell down, Jason knew what Harry was like. He knew what William was like. And he has a good meter to measure how things really changed when Meghan came into the picture. Now, he's appearing in this new documentary, Where There's a Will, on 60 Minutes Australia. Originally from New Zealand, Knauf worked closely with both princess and their wives before leaving royal service. But he's still working with the Earthshot Prize, okay? That is what William is still doing, okay? So he described working with William and Catherine as the honor of a lifetime. Charlotte Griffith goes on to say that Jason was the press secretary for both brothers before they were completely at war with one another. He grew up especially close to both of them, and he remains really close with William. He has long since stopped working for the royal family. Jason presided over Prince Harry's wedding in the build-up to that 2018 accusations of Meghan being called a bully. Now, Charlotte went on to say that I suppose you could characterize it as that being indirect attacks to Harry and Meghan, and that this is the first time that he's spoken out since all of this has happened. And because he is the he kind of went to ground after that and just didn't really speak again. And then this is key with what Charlotte has said. She says, I don't know whether William's building up to something because it's mostly about William's reputation. And this is completely about good versus evil. Good versus evil. And we know who the good is and we know who the evil is, okay? Let's just keep it real. She goes on to say, of course, they had to touch on Harry. I think maybe something's building because it's really important to them to keep in with Australia. We want Australia to have a monarchy, and I think that is also part of it as well. There has to be a good relationship with Australia because of the monarchy and the goodwill that is happening there. So this documentary piece was 60 minutes, set the tone for what it's going to be like for William in his reign and everything that has happened in the past and the bad blood that still exists between William and Harry. There is conflict still, despite the fact that William is getting ready to take over the reins of the most important role of his life. They can't afford to have these missteps. I think this is why in the piece they talked about how William just has chosen to remain silent behind all of the attacks of Harry and Meghan. And that's the best policy, just to remain in dignity and just say nothing. But here's the concerns that I think speak volumes about this. He went on to say, Jason Knauf, that he had no regrets about raising concerns over the alleged bullying allegations around Meghan, because it was the right thing to do. I mean, imagine you have these employees who are traumatized, who are coming to you crying, not feeling very good about themselves, having to go to a place where they're going to be feeling like they are not appreciated or that they're not competent enough. And Meghan is just making their lives miserable. And you're the person receiving these employees. And you know it's all coming from Meghan and her entitlement and her arrogance. This is why Jason Knauf wrote those emails to William talking about the bullying allegations, the things that were being said by the employees. It had to be documented. Now, there were three key moments in this piece that I think really had made a dig at Harry that shows the bad blood between William and Harry, even still now. And he talked about how William and Catherine, well, let's just take a listen. This is what he said.
To be public figures. They're not that interested in the fame and celebrity that comes with it. In fact, not really interested at all. And I think that, that makes it quite interesting in today's world to see people out there doing their jobs, but for the right reasons.
So that right there, knowing that he has worked with both William and Harry, he knows them both very well. To say that William and Catherine are the ones that don't want the celebrity around this. They just want to do the good work of the charity that they have been doing. speaks volumes to what is happening in Montecito with Harry and Meghan, because celebrity is everything to them. I mean, my goodness, they're in Hollywood, living, among celebrities, trying to get that celebrity profile, which Meghan is trying to do when her Netflix show comes out on March 4th in several days. So that was a complete contrast to what is meaningful and purposeful for William and Catherine, and the complete opposite, I think, of Meghan. And not so much Harry, because Harry is not aligned in purpose with Meghan. He does not want this celebrity either. So that's another video about the strained relationship of Harry and Meghan, because it's Meghan's constant thriving to get her celebrity. That is what I believe he is speaking to right now when he said that, Jason Knauf.
It was your job, Jason, to control their image, and they are the most popular royals. You must have done a good job.
Well, I don't think anyone can control the image of anyone in today's media world, social media world. You just can't. All you can do is help people be themselves. With both of these people, the Prince and Princess, what you see is what you really get behind the scenes as well.
That's key, because this day and age, like I've said before, you can't help to craft an image that you want with social media. That speaks to Meghan, because that's what she's trying to do. She's trying to craft an image, and you can't do that. You just have to either be who you are, and people are going to know. And if it's a good person, okay, great. If it's not a good person, that's what it is. You can't do that. And that's, I think, the struggle that Meghan is having. And that's what we're sitting and watching when we eat our popcorn. Like, oh, okay, you're going to try to make us believe you're this kind of a person, Meghan. Oh, okay, go get the popcorn. Yeah, the popcorn. Okay, here she goes again. She getting ready to try and do something else, okay? And you're just sitting, you watch. Okay, for real, Meghan? Like, that's what we see when we watch her. It's her trying to make herself appear like this nice and kind person, when the reality, we know, is completely different, based on the allegations and the emails that we've seen from Jason Knauf. Okay? It's a lose-lose. But with William and Catherine, what you see is what you get. This is who they are.
Jason was a key advisor for not just William and Kate, but Harry and Meghan too. At the couple's very first public appearance together, Jason was right behind them.
I worked really closely with the two of them, and we had lots of great times. Working on their wedding was an amazing, magical experience. And, I wish them absolutely all the best with their lovely family.
Now, if that was not just a dig at Harry and Meghan, like, yeah, okay, it was a nice wedding. It was magical. I'm not going to talk about all the horrible things that happened yet. I wish him all the best, okay? Next. Jason was, you could see the buildup of some side eye in him when he said this. He appeared to be very like, okay, I'm going to say something nice right now. Although I know the real deal, I'm going to just give off some good vibes right now. And I wish them all the best with them and their lovely family. And listen, even the interviewer sensed there was more to that.
If you sense there's a bit more to the story, you're right. While Jason was keeping a close eye on the couple's public image, behind the scenes, a storm was brewing. Just a few months after he joined them on this trip to Ireland in 2018, their first as husband and wife, Jason raised concerns the Duchess was upsetting junior staff.
I am very concerned that the Duchess was able to bully 2 PAs out of the household in the past year. We have had report after report from people who have witnessed unacceptable behavior.
It really is not good that these bullying allegations are coming out again right before Meghan's show. We're getting a taste of who she is, and the timing of this, I believe, was priceless.
So I think in this article, in this piece that Jason Knauf did, he definitely was giving very careful answers to his questions. He didn't really give off any negative vibes. He pretty much set the tone that, it's good and it's bad. And I think there's a lot of bad from the side of Harry and Meghan. That's just what it is. But I think speaking out now is such a sign. It is very telling that he's never done an interview and he comes out and he speaks about this, and he's definitely going to be there for William and Catherine, considering he is still a part of the Earthshot Prize Awards. He is still working with William and Catherine in somewhat of an indirect capacity, but he's still supporting them, has so much to say about that being the greatest honor of his life. And I think he is really letting us know that William is going to be the best future king, and Catherine will be the greatest queen consort, and everything is going to be good. And I think the bad blood between the brothers is what it is going to be, because that's just what it is. But what he said at the end is, at the end of the day, this is still a family between William and Harry. It is. It's still a family. And I think in every families, you just have certain family members that are distant. And Harry will be forever distant, I think, moving forward. Jason Knauf has set the foundation for the relationship that William and Harry have now. It's still bad. And he has set the tone for the kind of person that Meghan is by coming out and speaking on these bullying allegations before Meghan's show comes out, and letting people know that get ready for a great reign with King William. And understand that, Meghan, people need to know who you really are as you prepare to continue your Hollywood life. There's a contrast, and Jason Knauf has set the tone for the contrast of William and his great work, and Harry and Meghan, whatever it is that they're going to do, the bad blood that they have helped to fuel within the royal family is going to be there, but they're just gone. We wish you the best. Bye. It is unbelievable to me that Meghan will continue to try to overturn this narrative that Jason Knauf can back up with receipts, trying to overturn the narrative that Meghan was a bully to her staff. They have nothing they can say about William and his future reign as a king. They can say silly things that Harry put in his book Spare, but nothing really concrete and meaningful, because there is nothing there. What you get with William and Catherine is what you see. They're good people doing the best that they can in this extraordinary life that they are currently living. And so the bad blood will continue. And I'm so glad to see Jason Knauf finally come out and speak and set the record straight for what we will expect to see with William and Catherine moving forward. All the things that they had to go through behind the scenes with the cancer diagnoses of Prince William's father and his wife. A lot has happened, but they still remain in dignity to continue to do the work of the people. That is what is so important. And Meghan and everything that she has done to her own brand, for that matter, what she has done to her husband, Harry, the relationship between William and Harry, I believe is Meghan's fault. Harry has to take part of the blame because he chose her, of course, but there has clearly been some bad things happening, and Meghan has fueled it all. And I think it's good that indirectly William has spoken by allowing Jason to come out and to give this interview to let us all know how things really have been, speaking the truth and showing us, hey, we're moving forward, we're doing great, we're helping, and this is what it's going to look like. But never forget the kind of person Meghan was when she was in the royal family. That is a message that I think is loud and clear from Jason Knauf in this interview. And that's right, Mr. Otis. I will see you all in the next one. Bye.